Good morning. Today it's Fish the Beach Bum Investor with your cryptocurrency discussion and report for today, which of course is the 25th of January 2018. Crypto Chronicus is in first. How's things, man? Drinkers, what's going on? How you guys been? Eric Meds? You're spinning up another Lightning node right now? Cool. How's that going for you, Chronicus? A lot of reports that Lightning Network could change the game. Chronicus just asked, should he name it in honor of the crypto wave investment crew? I think that's a brilliant idea. Quick. Eric Meds. BB Junkie is 16th. Well done, sir. Well, there's only 8 watching. G'day, Nate. Pablo. Adam Tazin. Crypto Chronicus said, fabulously, I may have a surprise for long-time members. Ooh, watch out for that in the crypto wave investment crew. Very cryptic. Crypto Stein. Where'd you cop the PIVX at, mate? I had it made. I was very stoked when I was, not sure if you're aware or not, but I believe I'm the first athlete in the world to be sponsored by a cryptocurrency back in June or July of last year. Yeah, so I'm a bodyboarder riding for PIVX. And that reminds me that Tanya O'Meara is Tanya O'Meara, the stand-up surfer from the World Qualifying Series. She's surfing this weekend in the Burleigh Pro, so that's going to be awesome to see. I'm going to go down and support her, guys, because Burleigh's just maybe 15, 20 minutes from my house. Tanya contacted me last night and said, do you want to do a bit of shooting while I'm down on the Goldie? I said, yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, the surf slowed us down. I went down, cruised down to D-Bar on my electric skatey this morning, and just no waves. And D-Bar catches the most of the swell. So unfortunately, not a lot of surf for the Burleigh Pro. But I'll be down there cheering Tanya on, and hopefully she can progress inside the top 100 in the world. She's currently ranked number 111, so I'll be cheering her on hard. And she's going to have not a full season this year because she's still at university, and then she's going to concentrate really hard on her surfing next year when she's finished her studies. She's also a budding nutritionist, so if you want to check her out, TanyaO'Meara.com. is her homepage, her webpage, and she'll be surfing tomorrow. I'll try and get her if she's like in her last heat of the day when she wins that. Confidence. I will I'll try and do a quick live stream with her with my phone from the event site. So keep an eye out for that. Crypto Stone said, you ever see great whites, bro? I hear your area is a breeding ground. I don't know what I'm talking about, though. The great whites are further south than where I am. I'm on the Gold Coast. I mean, they can get up this far, and they do, but it's mainly tiger sharks around here, and bull sharks are the biggest problem. But yes, sharks are a reality of surfing. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Australia has a lot of shark encounters. I think we had 14 in the space of 12 months within about 60, 100 kilometres of here. The stretch of beach, northern New South Wales, got heavily hammered. There was a lot of, we're not really talking about crypto at the moment, but there was a lot of, conjecture about why that was occurring and whale migratory patterns. And then someone said, oh, no, they buried a whole lot of whale carcasses that beached themselves up in the sand dunes, and now it's the oil leaking out. But it was a really bad time. A couple of people, like 4 or 5 people died as well. So that wasn't good. Yeah, it is crazy. Most recently was probably about 6 months ago for me. I was surfing over at Fingal, which is sharky. I was surfing over at Fingal with another drop knee rider, Owen Bayliss, who's competing up at the Sunshine Coast this weekend. Good luck to Owen. I would have come up to watch you, except I'm going to stay down here and watch Tanya, but do it for the Gold Coast crew, man. So yeah, I was down surfing with Owen Bayliss, and he said, "I'll just paddle through here, fish." And I was like, what? I thought he was talking about a current around the pier or something, because we were paddling from one side of the pier to the other. And we surfed for another hour or so, came in, he goes, how's that shark? I was like, what? I didn't even see it. So yeah, it's a bit sketchy, but you know, most scientists believe that sharks only attack you if they're making mistakes. So there you go. Anyway, did you wear bigger boardies? No, my skills in bodyboarding, what I'm well known for, are two things: groveling, so small surf. Not many people pride themselves on being small wave surfers, but I do well in small surf, and also the length of my board shorts is usually quite short. So yeah, I'm not exactly stylish. My sister's a former model, and she has a modeling agency. So she got all the fashion genes. I didn't get any. Got in cages at Gansby, South Australia. Cool. Yeah, South Australia's got some massive ones. Yes, budgie smugglers, exactly, BB Junkie. All right, let's have a look at the crypto economy. And one thing in particular, guys, the ICON Mainnet has launched. Found an article that was released about 5 hours ago on Medium, on the Hello Icon Medium page. So I'm just going to bring you over to screen share so we can take a look at that together. Started today with, you stoked for ICX? Well, let's have a look together. All right. Going to screen share as soon as this decides to work. Okay, I found this article on Medium. Okay, ICON Mainnet 1.0 launched, and this is from Hello Icon World. That's good to see. Greetings from the ICON team. We are happy to announce that the maintenance check of our testnet, which started last December, has been completed. And today, January 24th, 2018, 1825 UTC, we have successfully generated the Genesis block of the ICON mainnet and minted all ICX as planned. Thank you for your patience and support. The mainnet launch is a giant step towards achieving our vision, hyperconnect the world. Clearly, this is exciting news for our team and community. However, we want to remind you that this is only the beginning. There is a lot more works to be done, and subsequent announcements will follow. The ICON team will continue to perform tests and monitor the network until the official opening of ICON Mainnet for ICX wallet release. Dapps, exciting, can now be developed on top of the ICON network, and our team is already helping several DApp teams to launch new services. I believe ICON Eagles and ICON Snakes are coming soon. I'm joking. I have no idea what the actual apps to be released are. Although we are eager to showcase these projects today, the community needs to wait a bit longer. We will open the details on January 31st, 7 days from now. Well, 6 days. Depends on where in the world it is. 6 to 7 days from now. Although we can't invite each and every one of our supporters to the event, we are planning to live stream and publish the details on our blog and newsletter. That's cool. In the meantime, we would like to address some of the top questions below. Frequently asked questions. Is there a native ICX wallet? Our native ICX wallet is called IconX. We are in the final steps of launching the wallet on official Chrome web store. Thank you for your patience. You're welcome. How do I swap ERC20 tokens for native ICX? Do I have to leave them in my wallet or move them to exchanges? Okay, answer. A detailed token swap instruction will be published after the IconX release. The swap will be open for a few months, considering the time for users to prepare for subsequent steps required. You will be able to trade both ERC20 tokens and ICX during the migration period. Also, we are coordinating with exchanges and third parties to ensure a smooth process. Please be careful of phishing scams. ICON team never asks for your private key. Very important, guys. How do I receive my airdrop? Answer. For those who have successfully participated in our token sale, i.e. the Crypto Wave investment crew, you are entitled to airdrop. Yes. A detailed instruction for airdrop process will be published in early February. Nice. Again, please be careful of phishing scams. Again, same thing. How do I receive my bonus bounty? So if you've got a bounty with ICX, ICON team is keeping full records of those who should receive bonuses and bounty rewards. A detailed instruction will be published with airdrop instructions in early February. What Dapps will be announced at the ICON Annual Summit, the Genesis. Please stay tuned as 5+ teams will be presenting their their projects at the ICON Annual Summit, the Genesis. So to me, that says ICO is coming soon. We thank you for all your interest in the ICON project. We'll get back to you soon with more exciting news on January 31st. Hyperconnect the world, ICON team. All right, pretty cool. For ICON holders, nice to see. Coming back to Google and then coming back to YouTube. So I can, William Yates said 30 people, 9 likes. I'm more interested in what you think about that ICON news. Hey, Jao. Gannis Buys in South Africa, sorry. I was wondering why I hadn't heard of it. I missed out on the South African tour, Nodio. I got dropped from the Australian team right before the tour. It was very humiliating. All I Am said, can you ask us some questions and the winner gets some crypto? All right, done. All I Am, I've got my PIVX wallet sitting right here. You have to have a PIVX address to enter. So if you don't have one, you best get over to pivx.org and download the wallet now. I am going to give away 1 PIVX. Massive, right? But given that we started the talk with surfing today, it's going to be a surfing-based who am I questionnaire. And by the end of this hour, if anyone gets it, I'll give you 1 PIVX. How's that sound? Okay. First clue is I'm a bodyboarder. You'll get another clue soon. And it's not me, so no one say fishes at you. I'm a bodyboarder. That's the discipline of surfing. So I'll start off with that. By the end of this hour, someone will win 1 PIVX, courtesy of, who suggested that? I can't remember. All I Am. I think you're new. Welcome. Subscribe. We might do this more regularly. Hey Fish, good morning. How you doing? What's your real name? My real name is Luke Fisher. I know it seems you're not supposed to announce plenty of information about yourself, but considering I do have somewhat of a public image from the bodyboarding career, it'd be pretty easy to find that out. Hence the name Fish. A lot of people think it's because I spend so much time in the water. It's more to do with the surname. Nodio said, have you seen Matrix, new Chinese AI blockchain 3.0 started trading on Cryptopia this morning? Haven't looked into it, mate. Yes, Pablo, I said successfully when I was going through that. That's very mature of you to point that out. Excellent. Parko's not a bodyboarder. He's a stand-up surfer, William Yates. Talking about bodyboarders. Good bloke though, Parker. I like him anyway. Fisher's video will make ICX hit $12 by tonight. Dry goods spellweaver. I don't have enough influence, mate. Wouldn't be my aim anyway. I like organic growth like we've seen in some of my favourite coins recently. Hey, Walton's had a huge run up, guys. One of my top 5 for the year. Stoked about that. William Yates made 25% on the ICON news. Nice work, William. Well played. Crypto Stone said, the ICON news got me stoked AF. Very good. All right, second clue time. No, it's not Mike Stewart, but at least that's a bodyboarder. And no, it's not Tom Moray. Actually, I'll write it down so you guys know I'm not just, you know. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I'll write it down so you know. All right, I'm writing it in my pad so you know I don't just change it. Clue number 2 is Australian bodyboarder. You'll never get it. It's one of the most underrated Australian bodyboarders too. Ben Player, no, but absolute legend. William Yates said, yeah, it's not Parko, but he punched a shark, mate. That was another one of the Cooley kids. That's where I live, by the way. I'm on the border of Coolangatta Tweed Heads, and it was Fanning. It was Mick. He gave the shark a big punch in the nose. Eppo, no, you didn't win. I saw Eppo not that long ago, man, about 6 months ago down at D-Bar. What was he there for? I can't even remember. He might have been there for the D-Bar Pro. I was doing an exhibition surf down there. No, it's not Tania. She's a stand-up surfer, man. Australian male bodyboarder. Does prone and drop knee. Oh, my goodness, he's narrowed it down now. All right, let's keep talking about crypto. I'll tell you if you get it right. Nadia said, give me half a PIV for that guess. No, what am I, made of PIV? What do you think, PIV grows on trees? No, it's earned through staking rewards, which I got one of. So I'm giving it. No, it's not Benny Player. Legend. All right. You give up? Oh, yeah, it's going to be a tough one. No, not Ryan Hardy. Not Charger. All right, I'm going to have a look at the market and see how we're trending while you guys try and figure it out. I better give more clues. He's from Coffs Harbour. You guys should be able to start narrowing this down. Another clue. He wouldn't, this you won't find on Google, but amongst the boys, we call him the Colonel. The Colonel because he throws absolute buckets. Anyone? Steve Waugh, all I am. He's a cricketer. Dan Ryan, no. Dan Kim, no. Laird Hamilton, no. Hayden Cruikshank, no. Cruikshanks are an absolute dynasty in this country. Got a lot of good bodyboarders in that family. Steve Waugh again. Oh, BP, we're having a can you guess the bodyboarder for one PIVX? Malcolm Turnbull. Yeah, I saw him out in the surf the other day. He was shredding. Did the biggest backflip you've ever seen. Matt Sullivan. Big Sully gets a shout out. No, it's not Matt Sullivan. Not bad though, right area. Sully's a Coffs Harbour local. Often surfs with the guy I'm thinking of as well. I almost gave it away. And Sully's actually, he stayed at my house here last year for the national titles. So Sully will be stoked that his name got mentioned in the stream. No, Gilroy. He also stayed at this house last year. He's a Western Australia boy. The girls who live here, funnily enough, travelled over with Noah when they came across Australia. So no, not Noah Gilroy, but he won the national title in the same year I did for prone. I won it for drop me. Not Shaden Strader, no, not Shaden Strader. Not Geordie. Geordie was, again, another one of my teammates over in Jordan Imms was one of my teammates in Chile at the World Championships. He surfed very well over there. Jakey Metcalf, another one of my teammates, and Jack Harris. So you've been looking up the Australian team. You're going very close. But no, none of those boys are from Coffs. Coffs Harbour. All right, this is the last clue. I beat him in the final of the 2015 Australian Championships. I beat this guy. He's one of my heroes too. No, it's not Wilkie, not Damien King. All-rounder, one of the most underrated bodyboarders in Australia, in my opinion. It's appeared a lot in Riptide, surfed in the Pipeline Invitational a few years. Dion Myers, Pablo gets it. The Colonel. Pablo, one PIV coming your way. Pablo, chuck your address up in the chat and I'll do it live. We'll send you PIV now. Affidavit, your second. That doesn't count in this one, I'm sorry. But yes, it is the Colonel, Dion Myers, absolute legend. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I'd been competing for 9 months when I was at the Australian Championships. I was the lowest ranked surfer and somehow made my way through heats and semis and all that, and then came up against one of my absolute heroes in the final in Dion, and then towed him up, sucked in Dion. I went to Indo with him last year, actually. Oh, no, year before. It's good fun. He's an absolute charger. And what a bloke! Like there were 11 dropnairs on this tour. A couple of guys one of the guys from the Wedge in California, Adam Dumar, and a bunch of guys from around Australia. Really top quality bodyboarders. But anytime someone because we were surfing way out on the outer reefs, we took a boat out for like 12 days. And anytime someone got caught on the inside on the reef, Dion just didn't care about himself, just threw himself on the reef, helped them off. So he's an absolute legend. Anyway, Pablo, well done. Have you got your PIVX address? For David said, grrr. Andy G said that was fun. All right, well, we might do that again then. How about that? We'll keep it surfing and bodyboarding related, and I'll do a Who Am I? And I'll do it like 2 or 3 times a week. And we'll give away 1 PIV. Which is like, I don't know, it's like $10 at the moment, isn't it? It's pretty good. For a little... Pablo, get a wallet going. Mate, send us your... You can get the exchange address, but if you sell this... Pablo said, I'm embarrassed to say my PIVX is still on the exchange. Well, setting up that PIVX wallet is nice and easy, mate. It's good to see that you're from our recent win after being listed on Binance. So that's good for you, mate. But Pablo, if you just want to send us that over at Discord, you can as well, man. Yeah. Cool. It's going to set one up and private message me the address. So see what I've done there? I've effectively got 1 more PIVX wallet open to secure our network. Effective. Good on you, Pablo. Yeah, we'll do another one of them. That was fun. Good suggestion there from I can't remember who it was. Joachim Visdale said, congrats, this is so fun. Can you do more quiz with LTC, XRP, ETH, BTC, XMR, ICX, or something like that? None of those coins sponsor me. I've got a promotional budget with PIVX to do some fun stuff like this, guys. So with PIVX, I can do it. So this is really thanks to PIVX, not thanks to Fish. Crypto Stain said, how are you supposed to handle getting slammed by a wave? It's a really good question, actually. I don't know why we're not talking crypto today, but let's go with it. Guys, the worst thing you can do is panic. I know that sounds like, oh, don't panic. But seriously, you've got to stay calm because panicking uses your oxygen quicker. And realistically, unless you're surfing even if you're surfing in like 4 to 6 foot surf in most places, and if you're a beginner, you won't be going out in over that anyway. You shouldn't even be out in that size. But if you find yourself in a 4 to 6 foot wave and getting smashed, you know, the most you're going to be underwater for is like 20 to 30 seconds, honestly, unless you're very, very unlucky. And most people can hold their breath through 20 or 30 seconds. So that's tip 1. Tip 2 is when you're actually making your way in, especially if you're like, I surf a lot around the rocks at Point Danger here. And I drag people off there at least, I'd probably do 5 or 6 rescues off there a year. And one of the other locals will do, like, it'll be 1 a month between the locals at least. A guy drowned there recently. It's really sad. But yeah, if you're coming into rocks, don't be so obsessed with looking at the rocks because the rocks don't move. The ocean does, the waves do. So you need to keep your eyes on the horizon while you're making your way in, and just make your way in slowly. And don't be afraid to, you know, grab onto a rock and really hold onto it while the wave washes over you, rather than just getting bashed up. So that's a couple of tips for you. Anyway, let's have a look at crypto. Bo Beck said, Fish looking like he's 12 today. Yeah, I had a shave. Nodio said, what about a real sport like tiddlywinks? I wouldn't be the first time I've heard an insult like that about bodyboarding, mate. What was that, Chow? I didn't even see it. Pablo, you're not getting 1 bite ball. It's 1 PIVX. I told you that. You think I'm not aware of the unit difference in those 2 coins? Yeah, it does. Dry goods spell weaver, no doubt about it. Especially when you've taken like a breath at the wrong time. Especially if you're in the barrel or something and you take your breath right as the water hits you, you get no air, and 10 seconds does feel like a long time. You're absolutely right. Has PIVX Network seen a big increase in staking from the Binance listing yet? Pedro, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the staking's increased. That's a good point. I don't know if we actually have. Yeah, we do. That masternode site. Geez, I can never remember the name of it. Let me It'll be in my thing here. PIVX. Oh, pivx.cryptonode.co. Let's have a look. I think that tells me how many masternodes are running at the moment. Okay, 62.5% of the overall 60. I'll bring you over to screen share, guys, so you can see what I'm talking about. So let's have a look. All right, cool. So this is our this is your rewards, staking rewards calculator. So yeah, you can see at the moment we've got 2,105 masternodes currently securing the network, which is well above the 6 that we actually need to have in operation for the network to run. So that's good to see. And you can see here, out of the total PIVX supply of 55 million and change, that 62.5% of that is staking. So yeah, and this is your rewards calculator, guys. So if you've got 100 PIV, put in your 100 PIV, and you'll get two or three staking rewards a year. So between 4 and 6 PIVX a year, which is pretty good rate of return. It's manageable. Rewards those for securing the network while still being manageable, not leading to hyperinflation. So yeah, pretty cool little thing here. Oh, by the way, I put the link to this thing, that ICON article. It's in the description if you guys want to have a look at it. Cool article. All right, cool. Coming back. Google Hangouts. Stop. Ooh. Oh, did I say BTC, not PIVX for the giveaway? Can I take that back because I'm a nice guy and you're not going to hold me to that? As a scuba diver who panicked 55 foot down in a sunken bus, let me tell you, he's right. Panicking uses more oxygen. Holy crap, Ethercept. That would have been scary as hell. I've never been scuba diving, man. I did a lot of free diving, like a lot of scuba diving when I was younger. Snorkeling. Sorry, not scuba diving, but I've never had the tanks on. Jazz made a very generous offer. He said he will donate 1 Doge for everyone that likes and subscribes and shares the channel. I went out on a dark day and got in the water and nobody was out. I didn't know anything about beaches. I could feel the water pulling on my legs and I was like, WTF is this? And it was hard to walk out. I had some guy running towards me in a lifeguard gear telling me I was crazy, look at the red flag. Yeah, man, we see it all the time. I used to be a lifesaver, I should qualify, so I was a volunteer. When I was 16, I was young. I'd been in the surf since I can't even remember. I'm sure my dad was throwing me in there at 2 years old, knowing him. So I've been in the surf for a long, long time, and I see it all the time. Like the day the guy drowned out here probably a month or 2 months ago, it was pretty much flat as a tack. I wasn't even at the beach because there was no surf to be had, but it doesn't mean the rips aren't still running. So when the water comes in, it's got to go back out, right? And so it creates riptides. And when you're experienced, you can use them, actually. We often do, to get out the back quicker. But when you're not experienced and you can't even swim and you're going into the beach fully clothed, into the water fully clothed, which we see so many tourists doing, not good if you get caught in a rip. Let me tell you right now. And if you're fully clothed, it makes it a lot harder for me to pull you out as well. So yeah. How's this? At the end of last year, I was in competition down at Duranbar Beach. I'd pretty much closed out the season, but I still had to win one more event. And 5 minutes into my final, a dude, Canadian tourist, got absolutely smashed on the rocks at Point Danger. So yeah, I abandoned my final, picked him up on my board, paddled him around to through Snapper Rocks because there's a hell rip running, and took him out to hospital. And he had to get stitched up and stuff. He got really cut up on the rocks. And I got back to the comp site just as the day was finishing because I'm drop knee, so we're the second last event. And then prone will go, the open prone will go next. And yeah, I got back to presentation just to hear my name called as winning the event. Only had 5 minutes in the final, but got 3 absolute smoking waves. I was just like, yes. So stoked. How do you get back to shore? It's a good point. Okay, so the best thing to do when you're getting when you're caught in a rip is to go parallel to the beach, so you don't swim against the rip. So if you've got the shore here and the rip's running out through here, you've been caught in the rip. Okay, the rip's running out through here. You need to paddle across it, all right, and get out of the rip. Don't paddle. Try and paddle straight back into shore because it'll just keep dragging you out further and further. So yes, parallel to the beach when you get caught in a rip, and then you'll find a place where you can get in. Often it looks like it's a good place to swim because there's no waves breaking, right? The reason there's no waves breaking is because there's no sandbank there. There's a deep channel, right? And that's where the ocean currents are strongest under the surface of the water. So yeah, actually where the waves are breaking is safer because that's where the sandbank is, so you can stand up at least in most situations. So yeah, good question from BP about surf safety. Goodness gracious, I'm going to have to change the title from ICX Mainnet Launch to Fisher's Surf Safety Lessons. BP said, swimming in the rip is a death wish. Without a bodyboard or something, you get pulled out, then sharks eat off your tasty legs. Nah, mate. As my old man always said, he said, if you don't think sharks or something isn't coming up and having a look at you every time you're in the water, you're kidding yourself. He said, they don't want to eat you, or they would have done it ages ago. Dry Goods Spellweed that said IOTA, people underestimate it. Man, they've had some more issues recently. Didn't they get hacked? That's what I heard. Rumor only. It's in my top 5, so I'm not overly impressed with that. The one thing I'm happy about is I called it a coin flip. I said it was the most risky in my top 5. Oh yeah, cool. Well, not cool. Dry Goods Spellweaver had a friend who had to get rescued at Sandy's, got pulled out by the tide. Yeah, I used to perform quite a bit of rescues, depending on how big it was, how many tourists were in town. I haven't seen it. Nah, the lifeguards give you a red card, you get sent off. No, but it does make it hard when like people swim outside of the designated areas, the red and yellow flags. For those of you planning a visit to Australia, that's the safe place to swim, in front of the red and yellow flags. Eyes will constantly be on you. I don't think we've had a drowning in between the flags. I don't even know. It would be a long, long time. So that's the safe place to swim. You swim outside that, you're taking your life into your own hands. Unless you're an experienced, if you're an experienced surfer, yeah, you're fine. But, experienced surfer, not, oh, I did a month of surfing once. All right, cool. Notty O was a swimmer, Surf Life Saving Club. Had a few days over in Kiwiland pulling out many a drunk Kiwi. I can imagine it, man. Those Kiwis are funny. My best mate's a Kiwi. From some of the big surf beaches, good idea swimming on a bit of cocoa juice. I'm afraid to admit I did it in Sri Lanka, but it was like 1 foot surf. I was at Bentorta Beach Festival. I was like, okay, I admit it, I was hammered. I was so drunk. It was $1 beers. It's like 100 rupees, right? So it's even less than $1. And the concert ticket was $10. And I shouted a bunch of local guys who couldn't afford it. It cost me $50. And I bought them beers all night, and that might have cost me like $100 because Sri Lankans are generally quite small, and 2 beers did the trick. So it didn't cost me a lot, and I was one of the only white people in a sea full of Sri Lankans enjoying the finest in Asian house music, like thousands of people. I'm in the middle of the dance floor going crazy. One of my staff saw me down there. I got back to the call center after the weekend, which was up in Colombo, 2.5 hours away. And I get into the call center, and what was her name? I can't remember. And she goes, "Mr. Luke, I saw you at the festival." I'm like, "Oh, serious?" Because I did not behave myself at that festival. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, I went out for a swim during that festival, which you shouldn't do under the influence of alcohol, even if you are an experienced surfer. Ethercept said, ICON OMG, KNC. Yeah, one looks. I'm looking forward to one chain. That hasn't hit yet, has it? You know, cross chain transfers sounds pretty cool, right? So essentially, the way I'm thinking about it, Zhao, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're still in the chat, Nathan said you guys are pretty good at this. Like you could transfer an ICON token for an ERC20 token, or an NEP5 token for an ERC20 token in a well, I guess what would best be described as something similar to an atomic swap. Is that how you guys are seeing one of the point of differences of one chain's value? Said Fox, IOTA has been getting slammed on Twitter. Problems with users having to generate their own seed codes. That's right. And getting hacked. Problems with the wallet and sending transactions. Yes, thank you for presenting a much more elegant summation of the IOTA problems at the moment. Seb, good on you, mate. Rather than me just going, didn't they get hacked or something? Fish, you're a very professional crypto reporter. Giving Tree Cultivator, agreed, although I'd replace ADA with EOS until Q3 2018. Did someone make a suggestion? Oh, here it was. Ethercept, Icon, ADA, Lumens, and Dragon. I don't agree on ADA. I'm just stirring you up now. You like to stir me up, Ethercept. That's only fair. Funny Eagle said, I have an irrational fear of sharks. I think there is such thing as an irrational fear of sharks. I mean, you are more likely to get killed in the car on the way to the beach. More people died from coconuts falling out of a tree last year than died from shark attacks. So it is important to keep things into perspective. But having said that, there's sensible like shark mitigation measures that you can take yourself. So you don't surf at nighttime like a lot of my mates do to get uncrowded surf. You don't surf at nighttime. You don't surf on dawn and dusk specifically. Try not to surf when it's murky water, because most scientists believe that sharks are making a mistake. Apart from bull sharks, who are stupidly aggressive and will just attack you for the sake of it. Crypto Stain said, "Oh, this is so funny. Oh, it's not funny for you, man. It's a good question, but my mates in the pro bodyboarding world are going to laugh at this." Crypto Stain said, "Is being a pro bodyboarder your main source of income, or do you need another job on the side?" Yeah, man. Not many people make a full-time living out of bodyboarding. It's not stand-up surfing. Stand-up surfing, John Florence, I think he's on 10 million a year. And plus, just even without the sponsorship deals, the comp fees, the comp prize money is enough to sustain a really good surfer. Whereas bodyboarding, it's just not the case. If you take Pierre-Louis Costes, who was a nice guy, by the way. Really, I didn't even know him when I met him, but I watched one of his heats at the World Championship and I saw pretty quickly what it was all about. He was bloody impressive. But PLC was world's best last year or the year before. He earned $28,000 US, and he won a vast majority of the competitions. So to travel to different parts of the world to compete on the world stage with the potential earnings in competitions of $28,000 US, it's not a whole lot. So yeah, I mean, PLC has the advantage of being a very good-looking guy. He's also a model, so he does fine. My heart's not bleeding for him. But there are plenty of bodyboarders like Dion Myers who have been, pioneers of our sport. One of the best riders in Australia, and his earnings, I wouldn't even want to tell you. I couldn't estimate them, but I know they're not big. Dion has worked full-time, other jobs pretty much the whole time. Bodyboarding stopped becoming a seriously profitable profession for the athletes back in the 90s. And people were getting, $250,000 a year contracts and things like that. And Damien King even got a $1 million contract with Rio Pipo, but Rio Pipo fell apart and it never got paid out. So bodyboarding has been on a downward slide since then in terms of funding. But fortunately, in terms of money, in terms of the economics in bodyboarding is not understood well. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people who are super savvy in the business world in bodyboarding, and that's been part of the problem. And a lot of funding getting diverted to stand-up surfing, which is more popular. So yeah, to answer your question, no. I actually only started competing in bodyboarding at 32. I worked in business since I left school. First in law. I was the youngest article clerk in Australia. And then I went on to do a plethora of jobs, including property development, working as a bartender, managing a nightclub, sales of electrical goods. I've done that many careers, I couldn't even remember them all in this space. But at 30, was it 30 or 31? I just said, no, enough's enough. I'd done pretty well in a job. I made good money. I got this house and can rent out rooms to get by. So I didn't need a job anymore, and I just went and surfed for a bit. And literally the week before the Duranbar Pro, I was surfing down at Duranbar because that's my local break. It's just like 1 kilometre away, and one of the pros was out and said, "Oh, are you competing this weekend?" I said, "Nah." I said, but and he goes, "Oh, you should come in, blah, blah, blah." I didn't even know that it was a pro comp, and I'd pretty much already agreed to it. And I went and got myself towed up by Matt Lackey in the first round. So that was a nice wake-up call. Matt Lackey and Zach Armitage, really, really good drop knee bodyboarders. If you take a look at Matt Lackey, he's got some really cool stuff online. But yeah, he towed me up. He's a local boy here as well, and lives about 1 kilometre over that way. So yes, need another job, mate, unless you're the other thing that some bodyboarders have done, like Dave Winchester from Versus, is that he's actually taken a shareholding and a stake in the Versus brand, VS. And so he's able to make a living from bodyboarding, but it is combined with the business side of bodyboarding as well. Dave's a great guy, by the way. Supports the Gold Coast Bodyboarding Club. Really nice guy. We've yet to come up against each other in competition, so I'm just going to go ahead and say I'd probably towel him up. No, I'm just kidding. Dave's a very good drop knee rider as well. Okay, coming back down to live because I just went on a bigger rant about bodyboarding again. Ethercept, let's see what we got here. Technical truths, unfortunately, have little correlation with price movement. Very good point. Really good point, especially in this market. People should ask themselves why technically competent investors who invest in good tech have not bought IOTA or EOS. Okay, there you go. Ethercept, I'm looking forward to Day's ADA versus EOS comparison. Try and bring that to you on Saturday. I think she's free Saturday morning, so we'll get her on the stream and we'll do it then. Oh, no worries, Crypto Stay. Yeah, no, it's a thing we do for a passion, man. Bodyboarding's not about the money. It can't be. You'd go broke if you got into bodyboarding for the money. Sometimes I wish I'd concentrated more on the stand-up surfing, but to be honest, before that event, I was doing both. Just happened to be bodyboarding that day. So I don't stand up surf as much as I used to. Although I'm planning on it. While Tanya's here, I might get on the Mal's because it's really small at the moment. We might just go out and shit some. After her event, you know, she's got the event for the next few days at the Burley Pro. Hey, I wonder if it's actually on live. It should be on the WSL website. Let me have a look. I guarantee you she hasn't got a bloody picture up to the WSL either. She's like the only person in the top 100, 200 riders that doesn't have a photo on the WSL. And she's a pretty girl. I'm like, you should have your photo up there. I'm just going to see if it is actually just logging onto WSL to see if the event is actually live, which would be cool because you can watch Tanya live. And she hates it when everyone watches her, so everyone jump on and watch it. Let me have a look. Rip Curl Pro, Quicksilver, Gold Coast Pro. Oh, that's the men's. Oh, here we go. Women's qualifying series, Flight Centre Burley Pro. That's the one we're looking for. That's actually where I used to be a lifeguard, a lifesaver, guys. That's Burley Heads Mowbray is the name of that surf club. And that's where I used to be. Beautiful, right? Love it. That's just like 20 minutes that way. So, yeah, I hope Tanya kills it. I'm just trying to see if they've got it off for the day, next call tomorrow. Yeah, well, they're not running today because the surf's tiny. So they've postponed till tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get a bit of a pulse in the swell tomorrow. But I'll go down to Burley, guys. I might actually do a bit of a stream from the event tomorrow. Be good fun. Man, it's a beautiful day on the Gold Coast today. I'm sure it'll be the same tomorrow. What about Tron? Obviously, really bad news with the plagiarized white paper, but seems to be holding around 600 to 700 sats. Has it bottomed out? Mark G, That's a good point you make about, it's holding around those sats, and a lot of traders will be mentioning that and asking the same question. But the point is, does the Tron project still hold the same value given the revelations about the white paper? Now, there is some dispute about whether it is actually plagiarized, whether it wasn't, whether it was just the English version that used extracts from other white papers. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding Tron. And for me, I'm leaving it. And I've often said that maybe that's the best time to go in if you like the project, is when everyone else is fearing. For me, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Why is February 28th sticking in my mind? Is that when they're going to release Mainnet? That could be another project. Sorry, February 28th sticking in my mind for some reason. But again, I don't know about these projects getting massive valuations before they've even announced a DApp to be released on it. That's why I'm like an ICON at the current valuation compared to some of these bigger projects that are nowhere near releasing decentralized applications. ICON have got 5 coming in the next 7 days at their summit. 5+ is what the article said that we read before. That's got to be good. I mean, if even one of them is like, holy crap, that's a sick idea, that is the best use of the blockchain we've ever heard, or holy crap, that's a massive company releasing their coin on the ICON blockchain, both which are possible, then with or without Visa announcements, with or without Visa partnership announcements, that is going to help the price of ICON as people buy it to stock up to get into those ICOs. We've seen it with NEO. We've seen it with Ethereum. We've seen it again and again with these DApp platforms that have applications getting released on top of them. People have to buy that coin to get into the ICO. I think we'll see it again with ICON. Ethercept said, don't get me wrong, I wish I'd made 500K on IOTA, but I didn't buy it on tech because there are serious issues and problems. Yet Lumens and ADA, I bought boatloads. Yeah, I got some Lumens. Started stocking up on that a while ago, Ethercept. I was pretty happy with that. Who washes all your towels? Nobody, not EO. That's why I'm out of towels. And that's genuinely serious. Ethercept, Adore, ARC, KMD, solid. Yeah, I like ARC and KMD. I haven't really had a look at Adore. ARC is interesting with its bridging technology. I think it could be being a little bit undervalued compared to other projects in the space. ARC seems to have better, my understanding of tech is not as good as yours, though, Ethercept, but it seems to be pretty impressive. KMD, yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for that Monese ICO. I think that's going to be an interesting partnership in Europe, given that they've already got, Monese have already got SEPA licenses. So sets them up well in Europe. Looking forward to that. Flamez Kush said, fish. What's up, Flamez Kush? Pretty bullish on Enigma, said Andy G. And so is Ethercept. Ethercept said, good call. Me too. There you go, guys. Reading more about Enigma tonight, said Ethercept. That's the way. See, Ethercept's not just going to pull the trigger. He's going to be patient. He's going to do his reading. He's going to do his research. He's going to make his decision, because if it goes 50% between now and this afternoon, he doesn't care. Well, he does. But he's not in it for a quick flip. He won't do that. He will invest because he thinks he can make money over the next 2 to 3 years or something like that. So he doesn't, if it has a big run up and he has to buy in a bit higher, he goes, oh, well, it's, it's like I always talk about Bitcoin. I mean, if you could have bought it at $3,000 at one point, that would have seemed really high when it crashed back down heavily before, the week before Bitcoin Cash fall. Now you'd love to be getting those buy prices on it, right? Where's it? Jowd one here. Ethercept Lisk is more than you can program with any language. You like Lisk, yeah? I got some Lisk, man. I got some Rise too, because it's a fork of Lisk and it's low market cap. That was more of a gamble one. I do have some, within a high risk, high reward space, I still do have some higher risk ones, and Rise is one of them for me. I just see bigger growth potential in that if the right applications are released on top of it. Dry God Spellweaver said Tron is a decent project, but decent at 80 Satoshi. Look at the gigantic supply. Very good, Dry God Spellweaver. Someone taking into account the circulating and total supplies. Joseph Garnier, do you Do Crypto, an online store for crypto fans, is a new merchant in the Byteball cashback program. Cool. I got some Byteball, man. I got more and more bullish on it. We got Dr. Byteball who comes in and gives us our update. I can't even remember his real name now because I've called him. Oh, it's you. That's right, Joseph Garnier. Duh. Yeah, I got some Byteball, man. So your constant shilling over here caused me to buy some. Well done. Great. Andy G said, great team, a unique tech, building their own app, Catalyst, to showcase what you can do on their platforms. Seriously undervalued. Tron Beta Exodus release March 31st. Thank you, man. Thank you for the update there, BB Junkie. Seb said, I want to keep my ICX, but I also want a big stack of WAN. Yeah, I think, Seb, I don't know, man. WAN's one of those ones that just could go so FOMO-ish on launch. I just feel like everyone's waiting for it, so no matter what price it launches at, it's going to be overvalued because the FOMO is real on that one. Mark G, I'm conflicted because I've got to get more advice on it. I did originally really like Storage or Storage and Seacoin, the file storage services. But I've been watching a bit of Richard Hart recently, and the guy does seem to know a hell of a lot about tech, and he's convinced that there is no more effective or efficient method currently available than vertical stacking. Sorry if that's the wrong term, computer freaks out there. Not computer freaks, computer experts, because I'm not one, clearly. But yeah, so that brought a bit of that put a spanner in the works for me. I hadn't heard that concern before. So yeah, I'd have to do a bit more investigation into whether Richard Hart is, speaking knowledgeably and saying that it's not as efficient as what a centralized vertical stack can provide. So it's interesting. I'd have to do some more research now, having got that contrarian point of view. Having said that, Richard Hart doesn't like any coin except Bitcoin and his own, and Byteball, funnily enough. Another one. Chikai Hinahara's in. Noddy thinks that Tron is good value. It's being fudded heaps. It'll come back, but same old thing. It feels like forever in crypto time. Since the pump and FUD, it'll come back. Cool. Thanks for your opinion. That's an interesting one, Giving Tree Cultivator, that you've asked Ethercept about, because Wilkie, the big whale, came over the other night, and one of the ones he said, Fish, you might want to take a look at this one that I've been looking at, is R-Chain. So that's interesting that you've brought that up as well, Giving Tree Cultivator. What's your thoughts on it, Ethercept? Have you had a look at it? Oh, you keep toweling, guys. You missed it straight over your head. Who watches towels? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. No, I don't tell anyone anymore. Oh, yeah, I still do. I had my third Gold Coast season win last year, so should be a good comp this year. Brett Dalton's been out training his ass off because he's sick of being bridesmaid to me. Sorry, Brett. Enigma's $4.50. Noddy thinks that's a good price and represents value at 50% reduction from all-time high. Lisk is well set up in Europe, Noddio. German efficiency, my friend. That's a good comment you make there. Could be the Ethereum of Europe. Yeah, it could be. Noddio says that once the Chinese get in, that Tron will go up, is his opinion. Mark G got some Bytecoin. There's Bytecoin and Byteball, two different coins. Siren Labs is good. Hard to get, odd exchange. Yeah, I saw it pumping. I don't even know what it's about, Noddio. Ethercept said, thanks for the heads up to Giving Tree Cultivator. I'll put it on the research list, and said he hasn't had a look at R-Chain yet. He honestly hasn't even gotten around to have a look at OneChain yet. OneChain looks pretty cool, Ethercept. If I've got the yeah, that's the correct spelling. Mark G, Richard Hart. He's in my subscribed, man. I'm subscribed to him on YouTube. He did like an 8-hour straight stream and talks about everything. He's super opinionated. He's super. Very intelligent too. It's clear that he is intelligent. And I'm super opinionated, so what can I say about someone else? AB's asked an interesting question here. Why didn't ICX moon today? Mate, quite often, I did actually suggest that you often get a sell-off into the mainnet launch of a coin. People buy up to the event and then sell into the event. Now, I suggested that it could take a retracement, but I also suggested that it may not be as severe as other coins into dumping into mainnet launches, because these announcements coming up about these distributed applications coming out within 6 days, 7 days, 6 days, sorry, is big news. Most people are going, what is ICON? They've just started seeing it on the coin market cap. They don't even know what it is. Next thing, 5 decentralized applications are being released on top of it. 5 new coins are hitting the market on an ICON base. I think it's going to shake the market up. I really do. So I think that, short term, people have sold off into the event. That's not unusual. Not unusual. I haven't heard any evidence that there's any issues at all with the ICON mainnet. So, yeah. Seb said that Bellina, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Sorry, Ian, I've mispronounced that in previous streams, because we have a town in Australia called Ballina. That's where all the sharks eat you. I'm sorry, Ballina residents. That was a bad joke considering everything that went on. But Ian Bellina, Mr. ICO, likes R-Chain and their scaling solution. Thanks, man. I reckon Nodio's asked a question, said which exchange will OneChain get on? I'm going to back Binance for the earliest release. That's my pick. I have no reason for that pick other than they were the first to release ICON, and that was totally unexpected. Nodio said, does Richard Hart have a shirt coin? Yeah, he's got some funky shirts, doesn't he? Oh, Richard, this is not my comment. I'm just reading from the chat, so please don't smoke me over this. But Ethercept said, Richard Hart is like Freud, 20% genius, 80% cocaine. He is brilliant to listen to, but his writing is wacky, like PK Dicky wacky. PK Dick wacky. Yeah. Oh dear. I like listening to him, Ethercept. You know, I mean, opinionated people I think are fun to listen to. He's very strong in his opinions. I still maintain it's laughable how there's no other good coin in the world except for Bitcoin and his. That's a little laughable to me, but yeah, I enjoy his streams. I do. New York City, sweet. How are you, AB? AB said, love your show too. Peace from New York City, and asked me, what do you think about Verge? It's a tough one, Verge. I think it got over. I think it got pumped to, it was a perfect storm. McAfee, as I call him, his tweet, along with the fact that 2 pump and dump groups were known to be involved in the price inflation. Thank you to our inside man on that, who gave us the inside word about that, telling us just be careful because there are 2 pump and dump groups involved. And it's a coin he was supporting. He was just making sure everyone was aware that had happened. So I think it got overinflated big time. For stage development, again, I'm about coins that have had applications released on top of them, or at least have that very, very soon in their roadmap. To my knowledge, there are no applications released on top of Verge's protocol yet, on top of Verge's network. Wraith protocol was missed, and the community was left in the dark about why. Now, I believe that now it's running, at least on their test net. I'm not sure if it's running on mainnet yet, but a lot of investors got put offside by that. That can be a time that if you're really confident in the project, you do go to look for buy while everyone else is fearing. But I think another thing that really contributed to the overinflation of Verge's prices up to 30 cents a coin is because of exactly what I just said, 30 cents a coin, unit bias. So the market cap at that stage had reached $4 billion, in excess of $4 billion, that's overvalued for that stage of development on Verge. It can absolutely one day warrant that valuation. It can, 100%. Not like it's not 100% going to, but it can. Like that is a possibility. But 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago, or whenever the big spike was not the time that it warranted that valuation. I'd sold 80 or 90% of my Verge into that run up because I was just like, nah. It's like I picked it up at 1/3 of a cent or something like that, 1/2 a cent, somewhere around. I picked it up in June, so whatever the price was back in June last year. And so for me to go up to 30 cents was 60x, and I put it in as like a high risk, high reward, got some promise, interesting project sort of thing. It wasn't one of my top holds, and it quickly became that way because of the excessive run up. So I hadn't seen anything that was, I hadn't seen them announce the next big thing is going to be released on top of Verge, right? I hadn't seen anything major apart from Wraith Protocol, but that was just an announcement. It hadn't been released. So for me, it was sell time during that. Now, to be fair, because I trade as well, I have bought some back at much lower prices than I bought it. I sold it, so it's it's a win for me either way. But if I'm being honest, I didn't buy back as much as I sold. I didn't, because I was just like, you know what, I'll take some, but that is such a good run up for me, and there's other projects that I'm more interested in. Don't hit me, Ethercept, because I know you're a fan of Verge. Okay, cool. This is cool. Ethercept said Verge's next big thing is Rootstock, which means Verge will be able to do smart contracts, which means Verge is now a platform. Yeah, see, it's got to get there, though. That's true. We need more people like RH to listen to now that Roger Ver's gone off the rails. Yeah, man. Nodio, he's good. Roger Hart's good because he's clearly intelligent. I don't agree with all of his opinions, and I certainly don't agree with the way he refers to people as idiots and things like that. I don't think that's necessary. But I'm not judging him on his courtesy. Although he does seem to have some. He made some other like life hack videos, if you like. I found it interesting, guys. It's up to you. Go and check it out. If you think he's full of crap, just don't subscribe to his channel. You think he's got some interesting opinions that might help balance things out for you. If you get a bit overheated with every other altcoin, then you can go and listen to him. I find it's good to get a cross section of people. I like to listen to some Bitcoin maximalists. Just shut them out. They've got valid opinions, and some of them have really valid opinions that I need to consider, like Lightning Network, guys. I've got to put it out there. Will it? Like, if your only value proposition in the economy is speed, if that's it, if you've got nothing else other than speed, does Lightning Network wipe you out of the game as an altcoin? Or does it seriously devalue your potential going forward? Because now Bitcoin can do that. 100th of a cent, very fast transactions. It's one of PIVX's value propositions, fortunately not our only one. We've also got proof of stake. We've also got privacy. So there's a few features. I could go on with a few more, but there's still a lot of features differentiating PIVX from Bitcoin. So I'm not necessarily concerned. Matter of fact, I'm happy that they're going to be implementing Lightning Network and making that transition back into the currency race, where they're able to provide low cost, fast transactions, because it brings more chance of adoptance of crypto in general. And I don't think you will ever see a time where one coin just takes over the whole lot. So I think it'll be good for crypto in general, and the good projects with quality teams, quality development going on, good community support will thrive from an increased interest in Bitcoin. That's my opinion. But yeah, Roger Ver is a nutter. He's not a nutter. He's like calculated evil. He's evil. He's pretty clever. See, I didn't know. That's one of the things in finding out the history of crypto. I didn't know he'd done these other ICOs. Like, he backed the Z Classic ICO and all this sort of stuff. It just seems like he's trying to get his fingers in I don't know. It just seems like he's cash grabbing all over the place. Could be wrong. He could be a really, really nice guy. But I hear he's going to open up his own country. I won't be living there. Satoshi is now bodyboarding in Brazil. I had some good mates from Brazil, man. Heaps of Brazilians here. Fish, what are your top picks for who Satoshi Nakamoto is and why? I really don't know, man. One of the cypherpunks, maybe, all of them potentially. Could be. I don't think Elon Musk. I know that was thrown around. I don't think it'd be Elon Musk because Elon Musk would have created something that was more energy efficient than Bitcoin. Bitcoin uses an immense amount of power, guys. Immense amount of power. A lot of people say that's a good thing because it provides the value to the coin and the cost of actually mining it. I say that's bullshit. We don't want to be moving to any models that use more power. So, yeah, no, I don't think it was him. So I don't really know, man. I guess it's one of those things where it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of, apparently Satoshi has somewhere between 1 million and 1.5 million Bitcoin. There's a wallet out there with one or something. I don't know if it's in one wallet, but someone run the numbers on, mining in the early days when he was around, and they reckon 1 to 1.5 million Bitcoin is owned by Satoshi. So how would that be if one day this person just came out and said, oh, by the way, I'm the richest person in the world. Boom, Satoshi. Boom, that's me. So you like SIA Ethercept? So you're in disagreement with disagreement with Roger on that one? Because I quite like the idea of on-chain file storage as well. I even if it's slower at the moment and not as efficient, isn't that something that can possibly change? The same ways that I'm asking, I don't know, this is why I'm asking the question, but the same way that fossil fuels have now become obsolete for some reason, we're still using them, but because renewables have actually become more cost effective now than fossil fuels, is that a possibility with blockchain as well, that it does pick up in scalability and therefore file storage is a really conceivable use of the blockchain and perhaps more efficient and more effective than vertical stacking is, I think, what he was saying in one of his streams. So, yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion on that, Ethercept, if you know much about that. But I liked SIA and storage until I heard that opinion. I went, oh, shit. Because I have to take my advice on the technological side of things from technological experts because I'm not one of them. It's not my area of expertise. I do try as hard as I can to be a responsible investor, and I've caught up a long way to at least have some idea, but yeah, still not my main thing. Oh, yeah, sorry, Scott. Yeah, ICX is launched, man. Sorry, I'm catching up on chat. I'm coming back down to live. Stephanie Waters, Dent Wireless is about to moon. Dent. Cool. What? Is there a reason for that, Stephanie? Dent, Neo, and Dragon are top projects. Yeah, I like them. I like Neo and Dragon. I haven't looked into Dent, so I can't speak either way about it. But yeah, I looked at Cliff High, Notio. I looked a little bit, man. I was doing more crypto research, so I honestly watched like 10 minutes of one video. So yeah, I had a quick look. See, Chronicus is doing well. So this is for the Lightning Network, right, Chronicus? Chronicus said, I started the node when you were live, almost done, just syncing the blockchain. That's sweet, man. It's so cool to have someone who knows what they're doing. I think Ver is from the CIA. Nah, he's not that. Set. Oh, could be. Hey, Sab, how are you? Wilkie, ICX, what'd you say? Where's the big Wilkie? ICX is live. Let's run the streets naked and rejoice. Yes, ICX We know you have a monstrous bag, Wilkie. We know that you got in ICO and then still stacked up when it hit bloody on opening day when it hit the exchanges at $1.20. No, it was $1.80 by the time you got it. Wilkie was out spearfishing, guys, when I rang him and said, Wilkie, what the hell are you doing? ICX has just hit markets at $1.20. Well, it hit at 80 cents. Well, it hit at $5 and then did the usual pump and dump off the ICO. And it hit 80 cents. I went, what the hell? We've been watching futures for months. So we knew that that was underpriced. By the time I got it all sorted out, I got my extra bag at $1.20. And Wilkie had to get home from spearfishing. And it was $1.80 by the time he got his bag. But we were pretty stoked, obviously, where it is now. Nodio said they say Satoshi has 7 million BTC. I don't know that could be right, could it? BP said that he's actually got a post why Dent coin could be a scam. I'm going to have a look at that. Thanks, man. Satoshi Nakamoto's initials would be NS, since Japanese say the surname first. Dry Good Spellweaver said it's definitely Nick Szabo. How would it be if I came out with like undeniable proof that I was Satoshi and I'd just been playing that I was a tech idiot and I actually invented the blockchain? Wouldn't that blow your minds? If Bitcoin keeps being really profitable, it will drive incentives to advances in renewable energy. That would be good. I believe Satoshi is a group backed by Julian Assange. I reckon Satoshi's from the future. And he just dropped the white paper through the internet. That's what I reckon. Could be the case. Like if you're from the future and you couldn't, that'd be the best way to make contact with the past is through the internet somehow. What do you reckon? Sup, Hourglass? Wilkie said, interesting read this morning about Kodak coin hitting a massive roadblock. The possibility of someone loafing child porn or something else obscene. Forever recorded on the blockchain backed by it. Yeah, that's not good. Interesting example of blockchain not suiting everything. Thank you for bringing up such a depressing topic, Wilkie. Well done. Way to bring the mood down, you prick. Giving tree cultivators. Wonder how many governments are around the clock trying to hack the 1 million BTC wallet so they can stage somebody as Satoshi and steer the public opinion. That's a pretty good idea. I might give it a crack myself. What do you reckon? I reckon his password would have been Satoshi 1234. No one would have tried that yet. I gotta go. No, I'm joking. In the US, we have, sorry if I've missed comments, it's skipping all over the place. In the US, we have a monopoly on energy. They don't let you compete with the big companies because of the regulations. If they got rid of the energy, it would be cheaper and cleaner. Yeah, of course it would be, mate. It's a lot of power in the energy market, the old school energy market. Oil, and not to mention the coal industry in Australia is like one of our biggest industries. So it wouldn't be, see, that's the thing. It wouldn't be great for Australia's economy if we got off coal because we're one of the biggest suppliers of coal. I think we are the biggest supplier of coal in the world to Asia. Very energy hungry area with India and China. So it wouldn't be that good for us, but we could actually redefine our economy by using the massive amount of land we have. 25 million people and our land mass is the same size as the US. That's, we've got 10 times the land per person that the people in the US have, more, 12 times. So there's plenty of room to set up solar farms and actually export electricity to Asia rather than exporting the coal to make electricity. There you go. Fish just rewrote the mining and economic policy of Australia in 3 minutes. Done. Chronicus, I reckon, I don't know. Crypto wave crew. Put it up for a vote, dude. See what everyone in the crew wants to do. Oh no, just put it as crypto wave. That's cool. Crypto wave works. Or quick, CWIC, put the acronym. What's happening with the Leafs? Leafs and Hawks are 1-1 after the first period. Thank you. Sporting update included, as usual. My Reddit post is why Dent might be a scam, and they didn't like my post, so they made it age restricted and put a naughty icon next to it. So silly, they know I'm right. I'm gonna be BP. Can you private message me that, man? You're on our Discord group. Can you private message me that? I want to see it. Chronica said, imagine a world where you're paid to use electricity by scientific researchers, research entities so they can study energy usage. Yeah, man. That'd be sick. Fishbeat Bum Investor said, who said this? On-chain file storage is impractical and unnecessary. Just think of 128 gigabyte. We will soon be the storage in the average flag phone chip. So yeah, you're saying that it could be done, yeah? I have 264 gigabyte in mine. I am one human, even with sharding. Data on blockchain is impractical. Interesting. Just personally, I have 16 terabytes of data. There you go. Very interesting. Crypto stain, absolutely, 100%. I'm big on mathematics. So Crypto Stain's asked a philosophical question here. Do you think the whole reality is a simulation? I think it's possible for sure. I think it's probable. Just do the maths. We're creating artificial intelligence as we speak. Have a look at Deep Brain Chain and Singularity Net and other forms of already existing AI. OpenAI started by and funded by Elon Musk. Now, if you look at the fact that we will essentially soon be creating characters that are fully self-aware in a simulated reality from our world, then is it more likely that we are the one true universe, or is it more likely that we are someone else's game? The odds are overwhelmingly in favor of simulation theory, statistically. So yeah, call me a nutcase, but I do believe in it. It's made more sense to me and has more evidence, or at least more. It has more mathematical. I'm going to get so crucified over this. It has more mathematical support to it than any of the religions that I've lived amongst, because I lived in Sri Lanka amongst four of the major religions of the world. And whilst all of them bring a lot of good things to a lot of good people, mathematically, simulation theory actually has more chance of being correct. So that was an interesting philosophical question. Thank you, Crypto Stain. Ethercept said, yeah, that just even people's pictures are like gigabytes upon gigabytes. Nodio said, maybe Satoshi lives under the Antarctic ice cap in the pyramids that are under there. Crypto Chronicles, I feel you. The whole theory is really interesting, though. I don't know shit. The power of visualization kind of proves to me that we're in a simulation, though. I just go by the numbers. Numbers suggest yes, we are. Will the new KYC requirements for exchanges disrupt the economy? Korean exchanges already implementing. What percentage of holdings are in anonymous accounts? Oh, Giving Tree Cultivator comes in with a smoking question. Yeah, good one, man. No, I think if anything, it'll drive prices up because it's validating the economy, in my opinion. When investors go, oh shit, the banks require like us to go in with personal identification and actually be seen as registered investors somewhat by having transparent accounts into the crypto economy. I think that's going to be, I think that validates it. It's part of regulation. That's a good thing. It helps adoption. So my take on it is that if there is going to be disruption, it would be short term for long term benefit. Crypto Stain said, you have to know how the simulation works to take advantage of it, which I don't know by any means. It's an interesting. I love the theory. I pitched it to a Jehovah's Witness when they came to the door the other day. They came to the door and said, "Have you heard about our Lord and Savior?" And I said, "No, I'm a simulationist." And he just looked at me so blank faced. He's like, "What?" I said, "I believe we're living in a simulation. That's the maths." He didn't want to come in for a conversation. I don't know why. Anyway. Funny Eagle, ICX futures, man. I haven't even seen the markets open up on ICX futures since hit BTC. We're doing them pre ICX actually hitting regular markets. So I didn't realize there was a futures market still operating on ICX. Where's Rocket Radio Show? Is he in? Oh, I didn't thought Rocket was in. Someone. Oh, here's Rocket. Here he is. How are you, Rocket? Oh, that's an interesting question. Shah? Mahir Shah? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Sorry if you covered this. Do you think one chain will be as transformative as the hype says it will? Ah, it's got some testing to happen, hasn't it? I'd say, like, I'm sure there's going to be technical issues, like technical hurdles that they have to overcome that they haven't foreseen yet. That's why when you invest in this, you understand that you're investing in unproven technology. It's venture capital. And I think there could be bugs in performing cross-chain swaps. Yeah, I can see that happening. Unforeseen issues. Just hopefully they're not critical, you know? That's sort of, as long as they've got their file safes in and the network is not compromised, that they can iron out some of the smaller bugs, and I don't see it as such a big issue. But I think any project is bound to have its fair share of hurdles, man. If you look at my Neo wallet at the moment, now I like Neo. I like the way they've handled ICOs and stuff like that, but I can't even access my NEP5 tokens at the moment. I cannot access them. I've just downloaded the 0.1.1 Neon wallet, and my Neo shows up. My tokens are nowhere to be seen. I can still see them on chain, but I can't access them, and it's a real pain in the neck, to be honest. So, yeah, it sucks, but it's part of what we put up with for being early adopters. It's a good question, though, man. Armed robbers stormed a crypto exchange in Ottawa, Ontario yesterday. I didn't know people had guns in Canada. At gunpoint, tried to force them to send coins. A hidden employee called police and they got there before the funds were moved. Oh, that's the problem with Bitcoin, see? If there was PIVX there, those armed robbers would have got a clean getaway. I'm not sure that was as good as advertisement for PIVX as I thought it was going to be. Rocket, are you one of the people that remembers Nelson Mandela dying before he got out of prison, or do you remember him getting out of prison? I remember him getting out of prison. How else did he become president of South Africa? Warlord lives in India, and he never heard of the Great Wall of India before I mentioned it. Yeah, I shit you not. Great Wall of India. I hadn't heard of that. Great Wall of China, right? Okay, Dollar Do's got something going on. What's Dollar Do got going on, Jia? Fish needs to start reading his mentions and messages. Oh, I need to do a lot of things, yeah. I signed up for DTube, like you told me this morning. So I've been a good boy sometimes. Where would I be without Jiao? Not with 1,500 or 1,400 subscribers. Thanks to all the subscribers. Rocket, or how about the Bernstein Bears or Fruit Loops? I can't remember, but there were several different things that have supposedly changed over time. You know the one that got me, the Monopoly Man with the monocle. Oh, that got me. Because I was sure the Monopoly Man had a monocle. But, you know, it could have been reinforced by the fact that I was a big fan of Ace Ventura, that movie, when I was younger. And then Ace Ventura talks about the Monopoly guy in one part of that, and the guy's got a monocle. So perhaps that's where my reinforced vision of the Monopoly Man having a monocle came from. But that was one that I definitely went, hang on, no. Monopoly Man does have a monocle. Yeah, for those of you who don't know about the Mandela effect, it's interesting. Have a look at it. Dry Goods Believer said there are now Pink Lakes, Rainbow Mountains, Ferrari station wagons, and all kinds of weird shit in this version of reality. It's not long before unicorns always existed. Oh, that'd be awesome. Apex, not trying to shill or anything, but you should take a look into Apex. Apex. Altcoin M, we will have a look at it because I've heard of that one before. I'm just trying to remember it, but we won't have a look today because I'm getting hot. It's the middle of the day and I need to get some lunch. But we'll have a look at it maybe tomorrow or next day. Remind me if you come back in because I know you come in for the chat every now and again. And we'll go over, do a screen share and have a look at it. Rocket said, last time I talked like this, I was on LSD. There is a SBD Australian challenge on Steam at last day to enter. I tagged you. Oh, sorry, man. I'll have a look at it and see what it says. Frankenstein has a good bit about it. Speaking of crypto commentators, his video about unobtainium is a real laugh. A barrel of belly laugh. So thanks. Yeah, that damn monocle, exactly. I'm not the Monopoly guy. Interesting point of view. I'm not going to censor it. Nadia said Mandela became president in South Africa because of the majority vote. Now the country is full of squatter camps of all the promised unemployed who were imported. Interesting point of view. What are your thoughts on human clones? Total conspiracy. Crypto Stein, I don't know. I haven't done any reading on it. I'd like to do, I don't mind a conspiracy theory. I've looked at, I enjoy them. I think some of them are totally plausible. Rocket said, yeah, I wasn't trying to bother you about Lomo coin the other day. I was just rubbing it in your face because I made a bunch of money. Man, it was hard not to be in this space and not make a bunch of money over the last few months, though. So, Trevor Duncan, thoughts on Dimension Network? It's one we're going to have a look at in the future, man. I've done absolutely no research on Dimension Network. Thanks for giving us the heads up. We'll take a look at it. Just for those interested, Trevor's not saying it's a great coin. He's asked me what I've thought, and I haven't had a look. So we'll certainly look into that in a future show. I'm just not going to do any screen sharing stuff today, guys, because I'm about to check out. So it's getting really hot here. Yeah, Rocket's been calling Lomo coin because of the Chinese New Year, February 16th. So it should run up to that event. I agree. Whereas D, she's going to, I can have someone to do an empirical research double-faced palm with, just so everyone knows your memories are extremely pliable and malleable. Mate, she's at work, but she said she'll come in for a stream on Saturday. That's why we say see you an email. Clone coin. Monkeys were just cloned for the first time ever in China. That's cool, I guess. All right, guys, I'm going to call it because I'm hot. And I want to read this one. Worst Leafs moment a couple of years ago. A Leafs goalie was at a Mandela event in Toronto and was asked on the red carpet what he thought about him. He said he was a great stay-at-home. He was a great stay-at-home D-man. I know man, but D-man. Anyway, funny. I had no clue who Mandela was. Seriously, Mark G? Goodness, how sheltered are you? All right, guys, I'm going to check out. I don't know that it's dead, Rocket, but I think it definitely got overvalued in that big run-up, man. There was a perfect storm. Unit bias, McAfee's tweet, bunch of stuff. Perfect storm that just exploded at well past where it should have been. Anyway, Mark Wahlberg, Satoshi. Nadia, I'm leaving. Seb, catch up with you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I'll try and do the broadcast from the Belly Pro tomorrow. So, yeah, tune in for that one. That could happen anytime. So hit the subscribe, hit the notifications, and come back tomorrow for a live from the Belly Pro. See you then. Bye.